Right, well, what are you working this time? G'day, this is my mum bakes cakes with a uh, YouTube live stream in regards to flat Earth claims and their pathetic responses. So I'll be doing some uh, research. In the past, flat earthers have said, to do our own research when it comes to looking at evidence for the globe or even in fact the flat earth. However, they don't seem to say that as much anymore, because when we do our own research in regards to the shape of the earth that we live on, we find time and time and time again that we live on a globe. As to date, no flat earther has presented any kind of viable evidence for the shape of their flat earth. And I'll be going through that in this video. Alright, so let's go to the incredible shrinking sun. Now, again, this doesn't happen on a regular basis because we can actually see the sun set and rise. It doesn't shrink all the time. It's not a regular occurrence. It only happens with different atmospheric conditions. But normally, on a regular day, you can actually see this thing called the sun set and rise. Sets in the west, rises in the east. How does it do that? How does it get from one side of the horizon to the other side of the horizon? No flat earther seems to be able to answer that basic question, right? They'll go with this. Oh, it's all due to perspective. Okay, so where does the sun go at night then? I asked this question to flat earthers, and they don't seem to have a viable answer. All right, next thing they complain about is this word called gravity, the theory of gravity. It's not true because it's a theory or whatever, right? You can just type in gravity science and learn how this force or supposed force is explained and learn a bit about how this thing called gravity actually works. That's, doing some actual research. Then there's the Eratosthenes experiment where this bloke back in the day, way before I was born, figured out how to calculate the circumference of the Earth. Not the shape, the actual circumference of the Earth. How round it was, using two sticks in the ground. And people are still doing this experiment today. Right? Anybody can do the Eratosthenes experiment, just putting two sticks in the ground, or using a sundial to do so. Then the sextant. Last year was the year the sextant was supposed to prove that we live on a globe. Yet when this first came out, I mean, I was laughing in tears because I thought, are these people this stupid to produce such a tool that has been used for centuries to calculate the position of the ship on the globe, right? And you can find out how this sextant actually works, right? How a sextant actually works. You can even find, you do how can you really find your coordinates with a sextant, right? Sailing wisdom. Or you can go to the HMS Queen Elizabeth's navigation officer explains the use of a sextant as well. Again, finding their location on the globe using a sextant. Not a flat earth. I've never seen a flat earth. Nobody's ever seen a flat earth ever use a sextant. All right. The biggest complaint is about NASA and space. Flat earthers will deny anything to do with space. mainly because of this thing you see in clear as day in this picture, the curvature of the Earth. Because if the world was flat, you wouldn't see any curvature. And here it is in plain view. You can actually see the ISS, the International Space Station. They'll even deny the actual ISS in the space. They'll deny any satellite in space because they keep saying, oh, they think, there's this thing called the dome, right? So let's go to the first satellite in space was not from NASA, right? The first animal in space was not from NASA. The first man in space was not from NASA. The first woman in space was not from NASA. And the first spacewalk was not from NASA. Okay? And the first space station was not from NASA. Alright. In regards to this pin, this is the Skylab. The Skylab actually fell in Western Australia. Right? You can actually do research and find out that this thing called the Skylab, which was in space, crashes below Baladonia Skylab crash site in Australia. How a fallen space station caused mayhem in the outback. Right? So the space station actually crashed. Some parts of it actually crashed in the outback of Australia. Then we have the Admiral Byrd, Antarctica. Right? They'll bring a little flat earthers will actually bring this guy up, right? Yeah, Richard E. Byrd South Pole interview, right? And they bring up this video of him talking about this extra land that exists in the South Pole, right? And the question I ask is, okay, fair enough, fine. You can actually read about the Wikipedia article about Richard E. Byrd, his ancestry, marriage, personal life, educational, naval career, fleet admiral, whatever, First World War, after the war, North Pole flight, Atlantic flight, Antarctic expeditions. The question I have is, how did he get to the Antarctic, if there's this giant ice wall? They don't seem to have, flat earthers don't seem to have an answer for this. He's been there twice. So, all right. How did he get there if there's this giant ice wall? No answer, right? Okay, Sputnik, the thing that, again, you can research this stuff and find out this satellite went into space. Now, this is the sunrise in Sydney, Australia. You can see it's 6:17 a.m. Right, Thursday the 2nd. That's when sunrise tomorrow is. In Darwin, it's 6:45. So it's sunrise in Sydney is 6:17. So get a calculator out. All right, we got go to Darwin, right? So we got 6.41 minus 6.17, 24 minutes before the sun rises in Darwin. How does that work on a flat Earth? And it's an hour later in Perth. How does it get from one side to the other side? How does the sun rise at a different time in Sydney, Darwin, and Perth? Then you can find out the solar lunar eclipses in your city. No explanation. There's a bunch of information out there that you can actually research on these things to find out the shape of the planet that you live on. It's called research. Flat earthers will claim, throw in a whole bunch of word salad in regards to whatever the claims are for the shape of their delusional flat earth, but they never come up with any evidence. So just typing in this kind of information, doing Google searches, will save you lots of time, lots of effort to find out whether or not the shape of the earth is in fact a globe. You can type it in. The earth is roughly a sphere. See? A whole bunch of pictures of it. Right, there we go. Not a donut. Some of these are CGI. Right? In fact, we've got the Himawari 8 live feed. This is real time. Here it is here. There's a globe. Right. There's a satellite. The question is, why aren't there any images like this of a flat Earth? Why is there no Google Maps that can have the flat Earth as a map? Why is there no Google Earth that is based on a flat Earth? Anyway, there's my questions and comments and replies to some of the questions that I have asked flat earthers. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.